When I heard that Finland wants to exchange Simon Ekpa for political and economic gains, I thought it was fake news. I repeat, when I heard that Finland, almighty Finland, wants to exchange Simon Ekpa, is planning to exchange Simon Ekpa with Nigerian authorities for political and economic gains, I thought it was just a ruse. I didn't know that this may be true. I did my research and I stumbled on a document, a letter written by the Organization of Emerging African States to Finland and Norway. Norway is holding Amazonian agitator Cho. Ayuba Cho is from Cameroon, while Simon Ekpa, held in Finland, is from Nigeria. These two guys, there are suspicions that these two countries, these Nordic countries, Finland and Norway, which everybody believes that these guys uphold human rights, will protect their citizens. Everybody believes that Finland will never ever in their life go against their principles of human rights. They have an image. But you see, this letter written by Organization of Emerging African States says otherwise. It seems that these guys are playing geopolitics. Geopolitics is not being taught in our schools. I don't know why. We need to teach geopolitics in our schools, because the politics we play in Nigeria is different from the politics they play at international level. Although what is constant is that no permanent friends, not permanent enemies, but permanent interest. That law applies both locally and internationally. So if there's a political and economic gain for Finland to trade Simon Ekpa with Nigeria, that means they could go for it, because politics is game of interest. Politics is the game of interest. Many people, before now, many people believe that Simon Ekpa can never be extradited back to Nigeria, because there's no actual treaty with bilateral treaty of terrorist offenders between Finland and Nigeria. But this letter written by Organization of Emerging African States to Finland and Norway says otherwise. So many revelations in this letter. When Simon Ekpa was arrested, they told us, one issue I have with the Simon Ekpa group and guys is that you don't divulge information to your people to understand the real status of things. Many people said that this guy wasn't arrested, he's somewhere cooling off, and he's going to come out in no time. The guy spent Christmas and New Year in detention. So I cannot trust any information coming from that quarter. I will take it with a pinch of salt. I will not totally trust. I'll have to really confirm whatever they tell us, because this arrest of Simon Ekpa has exposed a lot of things about the autopilot or the Burgi or the government in exile, Biafran government in exile movement. He has exposed a lot of things. And looking at the clash between Oragweze and the other guy, the finance minister, appointed by Simon Ekpa. Now, when you look at this letter, it reveals a lot of things. It confirms that Simon Ekpa is indeed arrested and in detention, and is in an environment that is not so conducive, because this letter, they were telling Finland and Norway that you cannot put our client in such environment. It goes against the rights. It goes against the liberty. You have your citizens, EU citizens, cannot be put under these conditions when there's an allegation. And we got a report that I understood another thing, that one of the reasons why these guys are being arrested, they were as a result of the complaints of the host countries, evidences given by the host countries. Yes, let me read it. Just give me time, read. Now, there is the appearance of an unlawful bargain by Norway and Finland to sell EU citizens. There is an appearance of an unlawful bargain by Norway and Finland to sell EU citizens. That is Simon Ekpa and Cho. This is written by the Organization of Emerging African States. Ekpa and Cho to Nigeria and Cameroon in exchange for political and economic favors. The continued detention by Finland and Norway of Ekpa and Cho based on information provided by the governments of Nigeria and Cameroon. Based on the information provided by the governments of Finland and Cameroon. So this is where you are getting the truth now. If you want to know how Simon Ekpa was arrested, get it in this letter written to Finland and Norway, official letter. So the information provided by the Nigerian government and Norway may have led, let me use the word may, even though it says it led, yes, to the detention, continued detention of Ekpa and Cho. Nigeria and Cameroon are in reality manipulating the Nordic states in order to have access to data and electronics seized from the detainees. There is a very real threat that this data could be used by Nigeria and the Cameroon to summarily arrest, detain, or execute individuals in their respective countries. As Biafrans seek freedom in response to Nigerian repression, it is ironic that the Finnish government, their response is to facilitate more repression. So they are accusing Finland that they are facilitating more repression by wanting suspicion on wanting to collaborate with Nigeria and Cameroon to bring back Simon Ekpa and Cho. However, they are saying that let us trash this at the ICC, respect the EU Convention and the UN Convention on Human Rights. So this is what I confirmed about the issue with Simon Ekpa. Usually there is no bilateral agreement that will bring them together. But when you don't understand geopolitics, when a Jonathan will tell you that Obama was instrumental in my loss or the loss of my election, you will be thinking, Obama in America, how come, how possible will that be? That is where geopolitics come in. When your presidents to be 23 were all visiting Chatham House, we're all traveling abroad to meet different persons and people. There's a reason for that. That is geopolitics. So many Biafrans were believing in Finland to protect Biafrans because they had a common history. Finland broke away from USSR and they understood repression. According to reports, Finland supported and helped Biafran children during the Biafran War. They donated during the Biafran War. So they see Finland as a place whereby they could get solace, they could get protection from. Look at Nnamdi Kanu. He was in the UK all this while. They did not arrest him, they did not extradite him. But he entered Kenya, and in Kenya they seized him. Geopolitics. You see how clever the UK might be. They may have pushed him, I'm using the word may, pushed him, lured him or baited him into Kenya to get him arrested. Until today, the world is keeping quiet. The atrocities committed on this young man, Nnamdi Kanu, the world is just doing as if they don't understand. That is geopolitics. Interest, permanent interests. No permanent friends, no permanent enemy. Some countries can violate human rights because of interest. These guys are human beings. So when somebody from the West or from the European Union start preaching democracy to you, tell them that they should go and sit down. Now it looks like Simon Ekpa may be extradited to Nigeria because the way the chief of staff is saying it, I was not expecting Finland to go this low because of economic and political favors to bring Simon Ekpa into Nigeria. However, I have some things I want to say, but I will not say it because these are my reservations about Simon Ekpa. These are my reservations about Simon Ekpa. But yet, if this is going to happen, man, it's going to be a big blow. Many people did not sleep the day they heard. I said, many people did not even close their eyes to sleep the day they heard that Simon Ekpa has been arrested. Somebody told me that he was not able to eat. The food that night, he heard the report. The food that night, he was not able to eat that food. He looked emaciated for 3 days upon hearing the arrest of Simon Ekpa. So if they now hear that Simon Ekpa is being brought into Nigeria, oh my God, I think this might be worse than Nnamdi Kanu. If they hear that Simon Ekpa is being brought into Nigeria, it might be worse than Nnamdi Kanu. No matter who a person is, he must have followers. We have Buhari. Buhari has followers. Tinubu has followers. Ekweremadu's wife was released from bail. He was coming back to Nigeria. I saw human beings, and they are Igbos, going out to sing praises of what? It shows you everybody has followers. Look at Yaya Bello and Ododo. They went to visit Wike. Look at that picture. They stood Wike. And these are people that the allegation upon their head, looting the state dry. And the unfortunate thing there is that if you meet an average Kogi person, what would he or she tell you? They will tell you that, is it only Yaya Bello that stole? I don't know what they tell them in Kogi State. Most of them were defending the actions of Yaya Bello. As bad as Yaya Bello might seem to be, he's got followers. He's got followers. That's the irony of the whole thing. Everybody got followers. But bringing Simon Ekpa into Nigeria under this tension, everybody's confused about the Biafra story thing. You see, one thing I can assure you is that Biafra has come to stay and will come to pass in my own generation. I'm not saying another generation. In my own generation, Biafra will come to pass. I always make a statement saying that to the farm, you don't follow one route. There are other routes that lead to the farm. There are other routes that lead to the farm. So, if you think that holding down Simon Ekpa or Nnamdi Kanu will stop the Biafra agitation, you understand that agitation and ideology, the average Igbo man, the way he cherishes Biafra. See, no matter the level, whether it is Uzodinma Gaga, you see Uzodinma. What he's doing is because of he's a politician and he's got interest. If he's set now, he will choose Biafra over Nigeria. If he's set now, Okorocha and those people you see, Umahi, they are politicians now. When the thing shifts, when the focus shifts, no permanent friends now, it's interest. When the thing shifts, they will support Biafra over. So an average Igbo man, the reasons why you see some people are carried away by anybody that comes out to say, I'm your Messiah. Many Biafrans, many Igbo people are carried away by anybody coming to present himself as a savior, even if that person is not doing it right, is a fraud, or is taking advantage. They are so. That's one thing that I wonder. That's one thing that the Igbo man is not easily. You can't convince the Igbo man easily. But when you come with Biafra, they will follow you. They will tell how can we do it. And I'm even surprised that the Biafra in SI movement split, and the two people that split, this one is still collecting donation, the other one is still collecting donation. And I said, so if I were to be in their shoes, man, I will have to keep off. You have two different groups, not up to a week. Sorry, after the finish of the convention, people are having issues. The Biafran in government exile are having issues. You now split. These are people that want to handle Biafra, and still you are collecting. So now I understood that this Biafra of a thing, it's like the destiny of an Igbo man. He will never give up until, and that's one thing I trust Igbos. They never give up until they achieve Biafra. Whether it is in the time of Ojukwu. One thing I'm very happy is that there was a country from 1967 to 1970. It's a legitimate country that was overrun by Nigeria. A country was declared, had its currency and everything. Yes, that is one reason I'm happy. So that you don't tell me, because tomorrow now, if I say I'm a Biafran, some people will not be squeezing their face. You say you're Oduduwa now, did I squeeze my face? You say you're Arewa. You have a group called Arewa Consultative Forum. You have Oduduwa People's Congress. So is it IPOB that should now be, okay. You deal with these groups differently. My brother, if I wear an Ishiago, that one that used to bend like this, I went to the village, I bought it. If I wear it, I had to do an experiment. I will do a video about it. I had to do an experiment. I wore the Ishago and I was walking on the streets. People were shocked. But I noticed the Yoruba, I have that one. I have gone for parties, I have that one. I don't have the Hausa one. When the Malams, where they change money, when they wear theirs, nobody is skeptical about, why is this guy wearing this thing? Maybe, if the Yorubas wear their own, nobody is going to behave like that. But wear your own Ishago. That one that go like this, that Abripa or Hafia people used to wear. Wear on your own. You see, eyes will be throbbing left, right, center. I don't know what is going on in their heart, but somebody has challenged me and said, "Now I see this Igbo man, this chief." So there's always a comment about you and Igbo man repping and representing yourself wherever you go. But I don't care. I've said to you that it is not your making. It is God's making that make me an Igbo man. First, I'm a human being. Second, I'm an Igbo man. Then I'm a Christian. It is God that made it so. So it is not because of you that I'll be ashamed to rep my ethnicity that God put me inside though. So if I come and say Biafran, don't be threatened. Because when you call yourself an Oduduwa person, nobody's threatened. When you call yourself Arewa, nobody's threatened. Sunday Igboho fought for Yoruba nation and he had a legit cause to do so. I don't know what Trujibello and other people found out. I don't know what they are fighting for because their own self, I don't even understand what they are fighting for. But as it is now, if Finland would be able to extradite Simon Ekpa into Nigeria, man, now big problem. Many heart attack, people go get heart attack. But you see, I'm resolved. I'm so resolved about this Biafra thing, a project. I'm so resolved about it. I'm not concerned about your take at this moment because Sore said that the hatred for the Igbo man is in the blood of every Nigerian. So I've lived with it. Although they say I don't look like Igbo, I don't behave like Igbo. I stayed in Yoruba, I started behaving like Yoruba, blah blah blah. Most people have told me that. But I understand. But blood is thicker than water, my brother. I'm a Biafran, and I'm okay to go there and beat my chest. I would die for the fact of being a Biafran. I can go to prison for being a Biafran. That does not take away my senses. If some people are misbehaving on the streets, saying all sorts of rubbish, thinking backwards, I challenge some people on Simon Ekpa. On the street, I challenge some people. I said, this thing Ojukwu did is wrong. This thing Namdekano did is wrong. This thing Simon Ekpa did is wrong. Some people just come and say as if they are infallible. So I'm not a stupid person. I'm a bona fide Biafran. The same way you, a Yoruba man, is a bona fide Oduduwa person. The same way that Hausa man is an, I don't know whether I'll use Arewa for them because Arewa is a Fulani word. That's why I say I'm canvassing for restructuring. Restructuring is going to bring out the beauty. When we had regionalism, see how the different regions felt. That was when Awolowo was able to build a foundation of education for the Southwest. That was when they built that radio station, the Cocoa House. You see the North, Granite Pyramid. You see the South, coal, yes, in Enugu State. They were building prosperous, imagine, until, is it Agin Rossi, Nnamdi Azikiwe? See, they come and they just spoil everything. So we need to go back to that. Yes. So if I'm not moved, because I know of sure that Nnamdi Kanu is going to come out down, sure. I'm not sure about Simon Ekpa. Nnamdi Kanu is one of the only leaders that I will be supporting on this Biafra thing. I would support an Ojukwu. I know the reasons why I would support an Ojukwu halfway. Because you cannot run Biafra as a leader. You declare Biafra. And you came back to now vie for the position of president. As a president of this Nigeria that you fought. To what end? What are you trying to achieve? Look at the wife of Ojukwu, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. After they appointed that woman, all these things started happening to Simon Ekpa. If you look at it very well, calculate it. After they appointed that woman, the dynamics changed. All these people have diplomatic meetings on the ground, and they know what to do. And maybe as clever as Tinubu is, he decided to give that man that appointment. But if I were that one, I would refuse the appointment, because what is she looking for? What is she looking for? She has held such positions before. What is she looking for? F. Young, that Ojukwu left to hand over, he and his family, you will not hear them say they have one political position, they were involved in this or that or that. In Igbo land, our culture and heritage is not being preserved. That is the number one thing we need to do, so that our language will not go into extinction. They will not do it. They are looking for Ohanese is there. As Ojukwu, while he was alive, he would have fought to preserve the culture and heritage of the Igbo people. Okay, if you ask me Igbo history, people have different accounts. You can create a body that will harmonize the history of the Igbo people into one, with whatever versions they have. Each village have their history. You harmonize all these things into one book, so that the young ones that are coming up will have to understand the background of where they are coming from. But these guys are not interested in that. You are interested to go into government. At the end of the day, you lost woefully. You lost woefully without gathering clout. See, the more reasons why I will still stand on this Biafra of a thing is because we would never move anywhere with this current structure. Never. Especially when you are subjugating the Igbo man. If you don't like the Igbo man, I don't understand why you don't like the Igbo man. But if we don't give the Igbo man a breathing space in Nigeria, Nigeria is going nowhere. It is not a cause, it's a fact, it's truth. When you shall know the truth, and the truth itself shall set you free. Until that happens, nothing goes in Nigeria anymore. But nobody wants to listen. But I pity, see, let me not say this one. Finland should respect the rights of their own citizens. Understand that if you bring Samuel Ekpa to Nigeria, it's going to be a worse experience. It's going to be a very, very worse experience. Especially Samuel Ekpa. It is going to be a worse experience. You know how Nigeria violates human rights. It's going to be a worse experience. So we have seen accounts of people in prisons not getting justice, as it were. The justice system is still coming up in Nigeria. They are not there yet. But for the kind of person, if you bring them to Nigeria, you go hot to. So I'm saying this one, it seems like people don't really understand what is going on here. If you bring this guy into Nigeria, some people can give up the ghost. Because the way the anticipation, the way Samuel Ekpa raised the hopes of Biafrans, with what he's doing, he makes this pronunciation, he assures them, we are doing this, we are doing that, we are going there. Even though some of them, we see they look for how we go still achieve more. We are waiting for him to come out and tell us how he's going to achieve it. But the way he carried people along, he won the hearts of many people at the lower level, because an average Igbo man that is learned and study, we want to rationalize things before he follow. Yeah, we have the follow crowd amongst the Igbo. So with what Samuel Ekpa was doing, was able to win the hearts of the follow crowds amongst the Igbo. And they now hear, these same people now hear, these emotional people now hear that you brought Samuel Ekpa from Finland. Well, we now, I don't know why they didn't teach us geopolitics in school. But I'm running a postgraduate degree, and I believe I'll ask my lecturer, please, can you tell us about geopolitics? Political lecturer, political science. Let's understand geopolitics, because if you don't understand world politics, you might not understand what is happening. The power play. Let me not go there, because I've got information. You know, one thing about a journalist is one that stores information. He might not be an expert in any field, but he has information that he can divulge. Journal. You have a journal, you list. Journalists. Journal news, events, information, and put in a journal and list it. That is the explanation of a journalist. So if I start talking about geopolitics today, I might not be deep, but I know what it means for Finland to sell salmon Ekpa. I know what it means. No be fish, no be shere, no be chere cambia. For Finland to sell salmon Ekpa, I know what it means. This one no be baby thing. Nigerian government must have lost a lot. You know, they say political and economic favors. Maybe they will, I don't know what it is, but they will have sacrificed a lot. The way we heard they sacrificed to arrest, they spend billions, if not millions of dollars, to be able to get Nnamdi Kanu, the Nigerian government, how desperate they are. And I know it's the Fulani, their handwork, and 9 days for the back. They don't want to hear anything agitation at all. That's why they are afraid of Tinubu. I've said it before, I repeat it. That's why Tinubu hold them for neck. Ordinarily, if not for the Igbo people that are saying that we are ready to go, just blow the trumpet, Tinubu will not be doing this shakara he's doing for the Northerners. Because Tinubu has in his arsenal to really divide this country. He knows what to do. The Northerners are afraid of it. So the Northerners will not dare him. The Northerners will have to respect their old age and themselves. So Tinubu understands that. I understand that. If Tinubu doesn't understand that, I understand that. I told people that Nnamdi Kanu will not be released until Tinubu starts his second tenure. He is now satisfied that he is now the president for the second time. He's going to spend 8 years. Then what Joe Biden did when he was leaving office, pardon, Tinubu will do it when he's leaving office. That's when we release Nnamdi Kanu. That is my prediction. That's my prediction. But he's on standby for any bagger from northern Nigeria. The other northerner was comparing Nnamdi Kanu with Bello Turji and Sonny Igbo in one sentence. He is waiting for any bagger from the north to just say Araba. Then when you say Araba, then they will now tell you your father's, that Fulani jihadist, they will tell you your father's plot of land, where it stopped. Futajalon Island and Senegambia, that's where you are coming from. And if you don't want to understand or don't want to go to your father's quarters, they'll help you push you and Hausa. Maybe since Hausa don't want to go, they'll push 2 of them together. I mean, I'll go live one side. Middle Belt has also told you that we don't want to be part of Arewa. Then the South will have their peace. I know the Southwest and Southeast will not want to stay together because the fight where they for ground, the hatred waiting for the ground. Only God will solve them. The hatred. I don't know why there is so much hatred between the South. I know it's been planted by some people. Politicians are responsible for that. The hatred that maybe they have hit themselves. The Southwest have hit the Southeast, especially under this Tinubu's regime, with so much. And one thing an Igbo man hates is, I'm not saying the Southwest betray somebody that is not consistent. That one is a no-no for an Igbo man. You see why Igbo men are lining behind Nnamdi Kanu, because that guy has been consistent in what he's doing. They love trust. If they can trust you, they can. An Igbo man is somebody that can fight for you. You need to have an Igbo man at least in your life, a loyal Igbo man that knows, that believes in you. You need to have a loyal Igbo man in your life before you leave this world. An Igbo man can stand by you through thick and thin. They believe in you. So when there's inconsistency, that is a no-go area for them. So it seems like they see so much inconsistencies from the Southwest. That is why, and the Southwest see them as people that Gweraga, wanting to, you understand, that kind of thing. But you know, rich like that. I just pray that Ekpa is not extradited back to Nigeria.